All right, so Shams comes out and reports that Luka is expected to miss extended time after suffering a calf strain in today's game on Christmas against the Timberwolves. He left the arena on crutches and will undergo an MRI tomorrow as I record this today as y'all watch it to, I guess, assess the severity of the strain. I'm here to kind of talk about why I don't think, as a Mavs fan, that the Mavs should be panicking at this point in the season. I don't think that it is like all of a sudden disaster time in Dallas. I think there is a decent amount of hope still for this team, and I don't think that they need to be overly concerned despite the fact they're going to be missing their best player for an extended period of time. So before we hop into it, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Trying to hit the 2,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I know I haven't uploaded in a few days. Took a few days off to decompress, spend time with my family before Christmas, went on a short little trip. So really appreciate y'all for the support, and I would really appreciate it if y'all just subscribe. Without further ado, let's talk about why I think the Luka injury isn't a massive deal breaker for the Mavs. It's basically what I'm going to say. So in today's game, they were down, almost 20 at halftime, 15 or so. Third quarter wasn't great either, but then they come out in the fourth quarter, 31-15 quarter. Kyrie scores 15 and 15 of the Mavs 31, tying the Timberwolves. And winds up finishing the game with 39 points. Not unbelievable efficiency, but very good. Luka had 14 and 16 minutes on good efficiency, but after that, obviously didn't play the rest of the game after the middle of the second quarter. So I feel like overall, this wasn't a game to panic about, in all honesty. They were getting blown out. I get it. They did not play a good second quarter, especially after Luka left the game, and then obviously did not play the third quarter great either. But the fourth quarter showed a level of resilience that this Mavs team has kind of continued to show without Luka this season. It's been one of those things that I think I've actually been very pleased with. And when you look at the Mavs season as a whole, they are 6-2 in games without Luka, which is a huge transformation, and I think it is obviously can be attributed to Kyrie Irving, but also the veteran presence of a Klay Thompson who can step into a bigger scoring role if needed. Impressive performance from guys like PJ Washington, Najee Marshall, Quentin Grimes, etc., all of whom have elevated their games, especially when Luka has been out. This team has real depth. I mean, obviously, you still have your center duo of Lively and Gafford. I think Max Prosper has played pretty well. I'm kind of surprised Max Klebe is getting minutes over him right now. I think Prosper's been good when he's been in the rotation. And then obviously Jaden Hardy's another guy who can come off the bench and score the ball more. He will have a little bit more of an expanded role versus almost no role recently, like what he has had. With Luke out, his role will expand. They'll even get Dante Exum back soon, so that gives you more of a defensive, versatile guard who had a really good year last year as well as another option. So I think the Mavs, number one, they have plenty of options despite Luka. So that's the first thing that you can say that's positive. Number two, though, you look at the schedule and you look at the standings. Let's look at the standings first, and we'll talk about the schedule. Mavs are currently 19-11 after today's game. They're a game and a half back of the 2 seed. The 1 seed I do believe is kind of out of reach. I think the Thunder are better than every other team in the West, especially when it comes to the regular season. So I think the goal for the Mavs is a top 4 seed, and specifically that 2 seed. Realistically, they are a game and a half above the 5 seed and a game and a half back of the 2 seed. So you look at the schedule. Let's say he's out until the end of January, a month and a week, basically. You're looking at games 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 games between now and the end of January that in theory Luka would miss. Again, they're 8 games over 500. They're a game and a half up on the 5 seed. And a lot of these games are very winnable. I mean, Phoenix is not going to be an easy win, but it's a winnable game. They've struggled as of late. Portland, Sacramento, Houston. I mean, Houston's really good. Cleveland's really good. Memphis is really good. LA's competitive, but maybe you split those 4 games. You win 2 out of 3 here. Maybe you're 4-3. Portland's a win. Denver, you split those games. You're 5-5. New Orleans, that's a win. OKC, that's a loss. You're 6-6. Charlotte, Minnesota, OKC, Boston. Say you split those games as well. And then you got Washington, New Orleans, Detroit. You win 2 out of those 3. Basically, I see a path realistically for a team that, again, is already 6-2 without Luka, already has a couple good wins. I mean, they beat the Nuggets without Luka. I feel like there was another good team they beat without Luka as well that my brain is now forgetting. But I think there is 100% a path for a Mavs roster that is finally healthier again, with the exception of Luka, of course, and that they don't have a bunch of guys missing games for injury or weird things like Klay, PJ, Najee all have in the past month. Having those types of guys back, having everybody pretty much healthy with the exception of Luka, and then obviously even getting Exum back, adding another key rotation piece from last year back to the mix, puts this Mavs team in a situation where I don't see it as unrealistic at all that they maybe go 10-9 in their next 19 games, which would put them at 29-20? Like, is that a disaster? 29-20 maybe, and the 29-20 is probably it's about a 6 I mean, that's still almost over a 600 win percentage. Like, that's probably still going to keep you in that 4 or 5 seed. Realistically, wouldn't put you too far behind. I don't think the Grizzlies and the Rockets, even if they play a bit better, like maybe you're 2.5, 3 games back of those teams. Maybe you're 4. I don't know. Maybe it's really, really bad. You're 5 games back and you're still maybe 2 games back of a 4 seed if things go poorly and they win 7 or 8 games. That's not panic time. There's still going to be another 30 some odd games left in the season. And this is a team that, again, like I said, has a lot of talent, has a lot of depth, has done a lot of things well, has Kyrie having one of the better seasons of his career. I mean, he's 49-45 from the field this year, 5 assists to only 2 turnover ratio. He's averaging 23.5 a game. That's going to go up to probably, I would assume, 27 or 28 in Luka's absence. PJ Washington's up to almost 40% from 3 on the year. He's averaging 12.5 a game, and he's been better when Luka was out as well. Najee Marshall averaging 11.5 a game, but he was huge when Luka was out early in the season. I think he's going to, again, have that bigger role. Klay Thompson has shot the ball really, really well as of late, up to 39% from the season, over 40, I believe even over 41% here in December. I think this team offensively will be good enough and defensively won't take a huge hit from the loss of Luka. Like, I know people love to criticize Luka's defense. I'm on the side that he's not that bad of a defender, and I think people over exaggerate how poor of a defender he is. I actually think he's a pretty good defender, but I don't think this Mavs team is all of a sudden going to be a liability defensively without him. You look at defensive rating, and they're 11th in the league. Like, this is super solid. Offensive rating obviously is a little bit higher than that. They're up to 4th in the league there. But in games that Luka hasn't played, they haven't been noticeably worse offensively because they've done a lot of different versatile things with Luka not in the lineup. A lot more guys taking on more of a ball handling responsibility. Again, Kyrie's role is going to go up. But then PJ Washington, Klay Thompson, Najee Marshall, Quentin Grimes, and Spencer Dinwiddie even. Like, there's guys on this team that can pick up the load offensively. They're still going to be good defensively. They still have 2 great bigs who are going to help out on the rebounding, the defense, the shot blocking, the rim protection, all that type of stuff. Like, this team will be fine. I'm not sitting here and saying they're going to go 12-5 without Luka if he misses, say, 17 games. I'm not sitting here and saying they're going to kill it. But again, they've won 6 out of 8 so far without Luka this season. They have a schedule that has some tough games in it, no doubt about it, but also has some games that I think may not be true gimmies. I mean, there's never a true 100% gimme in the NBA, but a lot of games here that I think are totally winnable. Like, you look at the schedule, you look at the way that the month shapes up, and sure, Luka being hurt's going to suck. 100% it is. As a Mavs fan, I'm disappointed that he's hurt. But I would not be panicking if I was as a Mavs fan. I am not panicking. And I think if you're a Mavs fan out there as well, same thing. Don't panic. This team's going to be fine. I still think they're going to wind up as a top 4 seed. I still think they got a serious chance at that 2 seed. The goal for the season is obviously the 2 seed. The biggest thing this hurts is the fact that Luka's not going to be all NBA this season. He's not NBA MVP eligible. Like, oh, well, it is what it is. He wasn't probably going to win that award anyway, unless he went on a ridiculous tear. And all NBA, who really cares that much? He's already got 4 of them. He'll be okay. Point being, I think the Mavs will be okay. I think their goals and aspirations are bigger than the regular season anyway. As long as they stay afloat, don't totally fall apart over this next month or so, they're going to come back with an opportunity to still have a tie seed in the West and still be healthy and super competitive going into playoff time. And again, this is going to open up even more opportunity for some of these younger guys, some of these other guys to continue to elevate their role and find themselves. And it will help, I think, not hurt when it comes playoff time. With that being said, that's going to do it for the video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I will be back with more NBA content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.